sparks are flying, along with conversation, on the best way to convert this hot water heater into a grilling machine. This is just one of many metal projects beginner and advanced welding students are piecing together in Wade Gartman's class.
Show of hands. How many think we can't cut this with this? And it's cutting it a little bit, okay? But not like it should.
For Jonathan Templeton, a Belton High School senior, his big project for the year was a 2-bucket hay trailer, which earned him several awards, including first place at the Bell County Youth Fair.
Mine I actually built for myself because I'm going off to college and my dad needs the hay for the animals and everything, so I built him a hay trailer. My hay trailer was pretty fun. There was a lot of math and a lot of work that went into that, because you had to get the buckets just right so they would dump always.
Along with welding, students must also learn about some heavy metal and how to cut and melt this solid material.
You have to learn the processes of how you can work with different types of metal, like cast iron. You can't weld it, you have to braze it. So we learned that you have to braze it. Or as we're learning over here with the stainless, you can't cut it with an acetylene torch. You have to cut it with a plasma cutter. So you just got to know the processes and what you have to do to get the job done.
Jonathan plans to further his education in welding at a trade school before heading off to Texas A&M for an engineering degree. His welding experiences in high school will help him with the transition. Students looking to enter the welding class must take Intro into Agricultural Mechanics as a prerequisite.
I took Intro to Ag Mech last year with Hobbs. And so I got my first kind of real welding where we actually made metal projects and stuff like that. And he took me through the tools and the safety, but he also took us through other stuff like concrete or wood or anything that we need to, because it's all ag mechanics. Now this class is strictly welding. Around the welding shop are several eye-catching metal pieces of work that include a trailer, deer stand, and this award-winning truck bumper made by senior Benjamin Simpson.
This year, I ended up building 2 bumpers for trucks that were just like aftermarket rear bumpers. So those were probably the harder things. So I just worked from my beginning and just took everything that I learned throughout the 4 years that I've been welding and put it all into place and made stuff.
Benjamin has signed up for welding classes since the 9th grade and says his dedication to take on the trade began at home.
I was in 7th grade. My brother, he was in high school, and he took a welding class with the previous teacher. And he was always coming home, talking about it and stuff. And my grandpa used to do welding, and so they would talk. And so I thought that was something pretty cool. And so I decided I would sign up and take a welding class.
Benjamin has transitioned from a torch to a wire electrode to a plasma cutter, learning about the different ways to slice through metals.
The first year I took it, we started off by learning fusion welding, which was pretty much just with a torch, and it was more like the basic point of welding. Taught us a lot of the fundamentals, and then we watched a lot of videos and stuff to bring us into MIG welding and arc welding that we're doing now. That's our plasma cam, which this is the first year. Last year I used it a little bit, but this is the first year that I really got to work with it. It's a really cool machine. What you can do is you can take anything, pretty much any design you want, and you can put it up there. And we put a 4x4 sheet is what it would cut.
What we're most proud of is the plasma cam torch for cutting out different shapes and parts. We actually went up to a bigger table, which is a 5x10, 4x4. So, and that's an industry standard. If they know how to draw on the computer, run it through all the programs to make the cuts with, they're employable.
In Gartman's class, he goes beyond teaching students how to weld 2 pieces of metal together. He demonstrates how to plumb, square, measure, and math plays a big role in the fabrication process.
0.625. Okay, that's 5/8. You need to know some trig, you need to know some geometry, you need to know how to do simple measurement. But the thing is what I'm teaching is exactly the same thing the geometry teacher's teaching. Some of these kids, they come out here and say, well, we talked about that over geometry, but now I really understand it. So, I think it complements our math classes. So we got pi times diameter, and I want to figure how far it is all the way around this circle.
The welding course at Belton High School, offering students theory and hands-on training to develop skills needed to enter the manufacturing and engineering profession. These students are welding their way to success.
If they like working with metals, like doing hands-on work and stuff, then I would say definitely try to take a class and get into it, because it's something good and it's a really useful skill that you can use. And this is definitely a job that you could just do on the side if you needed, and there's a lot of jobs out there for welders. So it'd be a great trait to have, a good skill to learn.
That's what I love to do. I like to take a project, start it, and then see where it ended and how it ended. That feeling to me is just like the biggest rush ever when I can sit there and complete a project and know that that's my work.